Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Today, thanks to the team at EV Hire, I'm bringing you an in-depth tour of a 2016 Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4. In typical Lamborghini fashion, emotion and sensation are key words found in the Huracan's design. It was first conceived to replace the internationally popular Gallardo by combining performance, aesthetic appeal, emotional stimulation, and easy daily driving into one package. The now characteristic angular and hexagonal design language of Lamborghini is found all over the Huracan and is accompanied by other Y-shaped designs. There are now several variants of the Huracan. This 610-4, the rear-wheel drive 580-2, the Aveo, the Roadster, and now the line-topping Performantes. The LP610-4 is 4,459mm long, 1,924mm wide, excluding the mirrors, and has a dry weight of 1422 kilograms. It is constructed centrally from an aluminium and carbon fiber chassis that is said to provide low weight and high levels of torsional rigidity. Weight distribution is biased slightly towards the rear with a 43-57 split. Before we move into the impressive engine bay, we can see the optional transparent glass engine bay cover. It is released using a button to the right of the driver's footwell with the ignition on. It is supported by two struts. Here we can see the forged composite carbon panel option surrounding the engine bay, with the cross bracing above and hot air release vents on either side. The LP610-4 is powered by a rear-mounted, naturally aspirated 5.2-litre V10 that produces 602 brake horsepower and 560 Nm of torque. This output produces a 0 to 62 mph or 100 km/h time of 3.2 seconds and a top speed of 201 mph. There are two exhaust options, Sport and Race, which are both valve controlled. The exhaust here is the Sport option. Let's hear how it sounds, first with the valves closed and then open. This car sits on front and rear 20-inch Giano alloys, one of two wheel options, and here finished in silver, which is one of four options. Stopping power is provided by front and rear drilled and ventilated carbon ceramic discs, 380mm at the front and 356mm at the rear. Here the calipers have been specced in red. The 4 in 610-4 stands for the car's Haldex 5 four-wheel drive system that produces serious cornering and launch ability. The car's stability is provided by independent double wishbones, and at the rear we also find a locking differential. Additionally, the magneto-rheological damping option has been selected, which acts to adjust damping almost instantaneously to suit the road conditions, drive mode and driving style. Now we've finished the model overview, we can start the exterior in-depth tour from front to back. First, we can see the gaping intakes that were present at the front of the later Gallardos have been smoothed into a more connected anterior design. Lamborghini say the Huracan's design is form follows function, so one would assume this area also has some aerodynamic function and airflow for brake cooling. Above, we can see the optional parking sensor right at the front. Moving up, we find the aggressive white LED day running lights with the Huracan's signature Y design language. These have undoubtedly become a key feature in defining the aggressive stance of the Huracan. Further in are the dual-beam xenon headlights with auto-on function. The bonnet is above, with two deep-set dynamic lines running at an inward angle. Behind this is the windscreen that is set at an equally aggressive angle. Despite this, its length provides good visibility. The initial concept for these switchback wing mirrors is said to have awoken the designer with such urgency that he had to draw the image immediately. Now physically formed and providing more aesthetic dynamism to the Huracan, they follow the hexagonal design language, are electrically adjustable, and can be specced with an auto-dimming capability. Above, the roof has raised sections on either side, once again reinforcing the car's aggressive appearance. Moving back down and at the side, we find slim side skirts that gradually extend until eventually reaching low air intakes, presumably for rear brake cooling. These have the LP610-4 insignia behind. Above are the integrated door handles that also sport the sharp angles found over the car. These automatically flip out when the car is unlocked and integrate when the car is locked. Above is a dual air intake area with a smaller intake just behind the quarter window and another behind the fuel tank flap. The flap itself is easy to open with a light depress. The fuel tank is said to have a capacity between 80 to 90 litres. The car is claimed to have a combined MPG of 22. Behind is the optional glass engine bay cover that we saw earlier. Do you prefer this or the plastic vented cover? Let me know in the comment section. On either side of the glass panel are plastic hot air release vents, and at the bottom of this panel is a small gap to further facilitate hot air release. We can now move to the very rear of the Huracan. At the top of the slight ducktail is an LED brake light strip. the light complex below is broken into 5 sections: a reflector to the side, a long horizontal Y as opposed to the vertical Y in the headlights at the front, and 3 brake and reverse light complexes above. Below is a plastic section that divides this area from the long hot air release vents below. The quad exhaust outlets below are divided from the panels above, which aids the general aesthetic, but may also act as a heat shield. Finally, there is a smooth and subtle diffuser section below. Now we've finished the exterior tour, we can move inside. The key has quite a simple design, with Lamborghini embossed on one side, and lock, unlock, and a button to unlatch the front boot on the other. As seen earlier, the handle flicks out when the car is unlocked. The handle is easy to use to open the door. The interior in this specific Huracan has been specced with ad personam, Lamborghini's bespoke interior design option, Nero leather and Alcantara with Rosso accents and contrast stitching. We can now start the in-depth interior tour with the doors. The top section is smooth and upholstered in Nero leather with a small lock LED ahead. The centre section is formed from a Nero upholstered Alcantara panel with a Rosso Alcantara armrest below. This joins onto the handle, which has the electrically adjustable wing mirror controls above, and the lock controls and door release next to it. Below is a narrow door storage compartment and the first door speaker. For how wide and low the Huracan is, the sill is actually easy to navigate, so ingress was not a difficult process. On top is a Huracan inscribed chrome sill plate. A carbon option is available. Now moving inside, we run along the sill plate and find the controls to unlatch the front and rear compartment lids, controls for the exterior lights and cruise control to the far right, and above the first manually adjustable air vent that can be specced in carbon composite. To turn the Huracan on, the jet fighter styled cover needs to be lifted, so the button below can be depressed and the screen start sequence can begin. The flat-bottomed, multifunctional steering wheel is upholstered in full leather here, but can be specced with Alcantara inserts at the 9 and 3 position. The indicators are found to the left, and wiper controls found to the right. As the Lamborghini Navigation and Smartphone Connect module and DAB digital radio options have been selected, with rear view camera and parking sensors, the screen ahead provides all the car's infotainment and driving information. The drive mode selected below can be used to switch between 3 modes, Strada, Sport and Corsa, that go from daily driving orientated in Strada to track focused in Corsa, stiffening dampers, sharpening throttle response, and opening exhaust valves. As previously mentioned, all infotainment and trip controls are found in the screen ahead, using the scroll wheel and direct select controls on the central column to navigate through these screens. First we find the sat-nav, but we can easily navigate to the main menu screen. Starting with car, we find options for vehicle settings, driver assist such as traction control and ESC, next is Bluetooth telephone connectivity. Info can be used to see traffic alerts. The navigation screen is next, which can be zoomed in and out of. Media is next for USB, aux and Bluetooth connectivity. Next is the DAB digital radio with tone, essentially a graphic equalizer, last. A more premium sound system can be specced. The dash ahead is quite a flat area, upholstered in leather and Alcantara. Now moving down the central column, we first find 2 more air vents and 3 gauges below with Italian wording. These are for oil temperature and pressure, and remaining battery charge. Below, the central column is packed with a large amount of different controls. The first array, under the digital dials, is for, from right to left, passenger window, lift system, traction control off, hazard lights, parking sensors, stop-start mode, and finally the driver's window. The lift here raises the front axle to make it easier to navigate speed humps, potholes, etc., and will automatically lower at speeds above 41 miles per hour. Below is another array for climate controls, seat heating, and window demist, with the temperature scroller centrally. Below these are the menu screen, volume scrollers, and direct access controls for the digital display. Moving down further, we find the fighter jet inspired engine start-stop button, gear selector for reverse, park and manual, and the parking brake. Unlike the Aventador, the Huracan has a 7-speed LDF dual clutch transmission for smoother, faster gear changes. The car can be left in full auto mode, or gear changes can be done using the long paddles behind the wheel. Behind these transmission controls is a small Alcantara upholstered storage compartment. Access can be gained by depressing a small clip. Inside we find USB and aux connections and a small netted area. Above this and between the seats is a CD player. Moving up from this is a small storage shelf and the rear port window, which provides a nice view of the engine bay and facilitates some rear visibility. Moving back down, the fully electric and heated seats have been chosen in this car instead of the full buckets. Their controls are found to the side and are easy to use. These are the comfort seats and are padded quite well, but are also very firm. Now focusing on the car's remaining storage space, the seats can be manually tilted forward to reveal extra storage space behind them. Moving outside, the front boot or frunk offers a maximum of 70 litres of storage space, so capacity is tight. There are two main accessory kits. The kit on the left has the famous white Lamborghini clubs. A pump and small toolkit is on the right. Moving back in, we can take a look at the final few features. There is a small glove compartment on the passenger side. Above this, a flip-out cup holder can be spec'd. Above, there are very slim sun visors with vanity mirrors. Centrally, we find two white LED reading lights, and below this, the rear view mirror. So that concludes my tour of the EV-high Lamborghini LP610-4 Huracan. They have a fantastic range of cars for hire, so please find all their contact details in the description of the video. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, thanks for watching.